Okay, I'm going to be addressing all this stuff online because I'm tired emotionally and mentally of seeing people try to make me out to be a person that I am not. Um, but with a testimony without a test of faith. So I'm going to start from the very beginning with this my type thing. I got permission from Travis to say these things because these are previously things I didn't want online.
Guys, the internet is on fire today with claims that Travis Hunter's wife was caught creeping with an NFL teammate. Word is, Travis found out and then confronted her. Now the marriage is in flames, and yet she is demanding $40 million from him. $40 million. What for, you might ask? Well, we are about to find out. In this video, we are breaking down the shocking cheating scandal, the cryptic Instagram posts that fans say confirmed the betrayal, the old videos that resurfaced and made people question her loyalty, and the massive money drama surrounding the fact that Travis never signed a prenup. We will also dive into the wildest fan theories, the speculation of a possible pregnancy, and why people think this entire marriage may have been a setup from the start. So, buckle up, because what started as a love story between a football prodigy and his longtime partner is now unraveling into a saga of betrayal, suspicion, and public spectacle. When you first look at Travis Hunter and his wife, the story seemed like something out of a movie. They were young, in love, and had already been through years together before tying the knot. Fans watched their relationship blossom from high school sweethearts into a public romance that carried through college and eventually into the bright lights of the NFL. From the outside, it looked like a dream every aspiring athlete wanted. Find success, find love, and lock it all down. Their wedding in May was everything you would expect from a rising star. White balloons, luxury cars, expensive decorations, and a guest list filled with family and close friends. Videos from the ceremony flooded social media, and fans could not stop talking about how much Travis seemed to adore her. He had spent months publicly declaring that she was the one. And when the big day finally came, he pulled out all the stops to make sure the world knew it. But here is where things get interesting. Even though Travis was beaming from ear to ear, the internet started picking apart clips from the ceremony. In one viral moment, Travis leaned in for a kiss during the reception, and she turned her head away with a look that many people described as cold or uninterested. To some, it was nothing more than a playful gesture in the middle of a long day. To others, it was a red flag that screamed louder than any vows could. Still, in that moment, Travis ignored the critics. He gave her lavish gifts, took her on trips, and continued to post about their love story as if nothing could shake it. This was supposed to be their honeymoon phase, the time when newlyweds shut out the world and focus only on each other. For a while, that is exactly what it looked like. Photos of them smiling together, celebrating milestones, and living what fans thought was the dream life. The narrative was clear. Travis was head over heels, determined to show his loyalty and unbothered by the noise of outsiders. But the internet never forgets, and the cracks in their story were already forming. Old videos started resurfacing, whispers turned into chatter, and people who once cheered for their romance began to wonder if everything was really as perfect as it looked. The marriage had only just begun, yet already the seeds of doubt were being planted. Clips, comments, and rumors began swirling online, slowly chipping away at the fairy tale image that had been carefully built. And while Travis might have thought he was living his happily ever after, fans watching closely were starting to think this story was headed in a very different direction. Even before the wedding bells rang, the internet was already full of warning signs that something about this relationship was not as perfect as it seemed. Fans had been watching closely, and for every photo that painted a picture of love, there was another clip or comment that made people raise their eyebrows. One of the first red flags came from an interview where Leanna herself admitted that Travis was never her type. She said he had slid into her DMs, and she ignored him for months because she was not interested. According to her, she only gave him a chance later after encouragement from family. To most people, that might sound harmless, but to fans already suspicious, it sounded like she was calculating. Why suddenly change her mind once she realized who he was and what his future looked like? That single moment made a lot of people start questioning her intentions. Things only got louder when an old video resurfaced. In the clip, Leanna is seen twerking on another man at a party, and the man had his hands all over her. The video quickly spread across social media, and while the exact timing of it was debated, many pointed out that she and Travis were already together during that period. To make matters worse, the man in the video reportedly started selling merchandise using screenshots from that very clip, turning what was already embarrassing into something even more humiliating for Travis. And then came the music video. Leanna appeared as the love interest in a rap video filled with explicit lyrics. Being in a music video is not unusual, but fans argued that the way it was shot and the lyrics themselves made it feel more personal. Combined with the other rumors swirling around her, it added more fuel to the narrative that she might not have been fully committed to Travis from the beginning. But perhaps the biggest warning of all was the one that came from people closest to Travis. His mentor, Deion Sanders, had once given him public advice about protecting his future. In a clip that resurfaced after the marriage, Deion told him to get a prenup. He explained that too many young athletes fall in love without considering what happens if things fall apart, and that the smart move is always to protect your assets. Travis, however, ignored that advice. He proudly told the world that he was not going to make his wife sign a prenup because he trusted her completely. To fans, that was the moment they knew he might be setting himself up for heartbreak. It was not only mentors sounding the alarm, even regular fans flooded his social media pages whenever he posted about his relationship. Comments warning him not to rush, not to trust too easily, and not to marry without a prenup were everywhere. Some fans even predicted that the marriage would end within a year, with Leanna walking away with half of everything he owned. At the time, Travis brushed it all off, confident that love would conquer all. Still, the red flags continued piling up. During the Heisman ceremony, when Travis had one of the biggest moments of his career, fans noticed something strange. Everyone around him jumped to their feet to cheer, but Leanna was slow to react. She eventually clapped, but viewers claimed her expression looked more annoyed than proud. That one clip spread fast, and suddenly the internet was filled with people saying she looked like she was already checked out of the relationship. Individually, each of these moments could have been brushed off as nothing, but together they painted a troubling picture. From ignored DMs to questionable old videos to constant warnings about money, the story of Travis and Leanna was starting to look less like a fairy tale and more like a cautionary tale. And just when it seemed like the doubts could not get any louder, the scandal everyone had been whispering about finally exploded onto the main stage. The moment fans had been predicting finally arrived, and it hit like a bomb. Out of nowhere, rumors began swirling that Leanna had been caught creeping with one of Travis's own NFL teammates. The story spread like wildfire across TikTok, YouTube, and gossip blogs. Titles screamed betrayal, captions hinted at secret hookups, and fans everywhere were convinced that the fairy tale was officially over. According to the online chatter, the scandal began when Travis allegedly woke up to a flood of Instagram DMs. Inside were screenshots and photos that people claimed showed his wife with another man. The name of the man was not confirmed, but the rumors pointed to someone close to Travis within the team. That detail made the story sting even more. This was not some random outsider. The betrayal was being painted as something that happened inside his own circle. The claims quickly took over social media. Threads on Reddit piled up with theories, videos, and old clips that people used as so-called evidence. TikTok detectives stitched together timelines, pointing out old videos of Leanna crying on camera, saying it all made sense now. Even though nothing had been verified, the narrative was set. The internet had decided Travis had been betrayed in the worst way possible. The reaction was instant. Fans did not just sympathize with Travis, they erupted with, "We told you so." For months, people had been warning him that the marriage seemed shaky. Now, those same voices were back and louder than ever. Comments like, "She was never in it for love, and he should have listened," filled every post with his name. What should have been a private family crisis had become a public spectacle. And then came the alleged confrontation. Online pages reported that Travis confronted Leanna after the rumors broke. What started as a calm conversation allegedly turned into shouting accusations and tears. Fans claimed he left the house and checked into a hotel to clear his head. Nobody knows if that part is true, but it fit the storyline so perfectly that people believed it without question. What added even more weight to the scandal was a cryptic Instagram story that appeared on Travis's page. The post read, "Life really is not all it is cracked up to be." It was short, painful, and quickly deleted. But by the time he took it down, screenshots had already spread everywhere. That one line became the symbol of the entire scandal. Fans took it as confirmation that the betrayal was real. From there, the internet turned the situation into an obsession. Every little move was analyzed. Who unfollowed who? What posts were deleted? What music was playing in the background of stories? Even what emojis were used. In the age of viral gossip, small details became clues in the larger mystery. To fans, it felt like they were piecing together a puzzle in real time. The scandal also reignited old content. Clips of Leanna dodging a kiss at the wedding were reposted with captions like, "She never wanted him." Videos of her past interviews where she admitted he was not her type resurfaced. Each clip was reframed as evidence that the relationship was doomed from the start. By the time the dust settled, the line between fact and rumor was impossible to see. What was clear, though, was that Travis Hunter's private life had become the internet's favorite drama. His marriage, once celebrated as a success story, was now at the center of one of the biggest gossip storms of the year. And just when it seemed like things could not get any worse, the fans took the story in an even darker direction. They began digging deeper, pulling out receipts, and bringing up old clips that only added fuel to the fire. You would think that fans would rally behind Travis during a moment like this. After all, he is a young star, beloved for his talent and charisma, and now caught in what looked like the most painful betrayal imaginable. But instead of sympathy, what Travis got was something very different. The internet came down hard, not on Leanna, but on him. The phrase, "we told you so," was everywhere. For months leading up to the wedding, critics had warned him. They pointed out every red flag, from her admitting he was not her type, to the old videos that did not align with the picture of loyalty she presented online. Fans had been vocal, and now they felt validated. Instead of comfort, they reminded him of every warning he ignored. Reddit threads filled with comments like, "He picked her, he ignored the advice, now he has to deal with it." Others said, "Travis has great football IQ, but zero relationship IQ." It was brutal. Instead of offering compassion, fans used the scandal as proof that their suspicions about Leanna were always right. And in their minds, Travis was too blinded by love to see it. What made things even worse were the resurfacing videos. Clips of Leanna at parties, clips of her with other men, and even the infamous moment at the wedding where she dodged a kiss were played on repeat. Each clip was reframed as if it were a clue in a mystery that everyone had missed. People began connecting dots that may not have even existed, but the narrative became powerful. To many, it seemed obvious that this betrayal had been building for years. The pressure on Travis was relentless. Every time he opened social media, his mentions were filled with reminders of the scandal. Some even mocked him for publicly defending her in the past. His old live streams where he told people to go get a girl of their own were replayed, but this time with captions like, "Look at him now." What once seemed like a bold defense of love was now used to paint him as naive. The trolls took it further. Meme pages started posting side-by-side comparisons of Travis smiling at his wedding and the rumored cheating scandal that followed. Captions read things like, "When you defend her against the world, but she proves them all right." The jokes piled up, but behind the humor was a serious sting. Fans were treating his pain like entertainment, and the internet was eating it up. Even his supporters struggled to drown out the noise. While some fans did send words of encouragement, the overwhelming narrative was against him. The sentiment online was that Travis had been warned, ignored the red flags, and now had to live with the consequences. The wave of criticism also sparked debates about money and fame. People argued that young athletes like Travis often fall victim to relationships that are not built on love but on opportunity. Some even suggested that Leanna had planned everything from the beginning, waiting for the perfect moment to secure her future. Whether true or not, that theory became one of the dominant talking points online. The fan reaction was not just cruel, it was a turning point. The same people who once celebrated his love story now ridiculed him. Every move he made was under a microscope, and every silence was filled with speculation. For Travis, it was no longer just about his marriage. His public image was on the line, and the court of public opinion had already started turning against him. And the internet was not finished yet, because beyond the memes and the commentary, another wave of drama was coming. This time, it was not just about love or betrayal, but about money, trust, and the lack of a prenup that could change everything. When it comes to celebrity relationships, love is never the only thing on the line. There are contracts, assets, and fortunes at stake, and the people who have lived in the spotlight long enough know that protecting your wealth is just as important as protecting your heart. That is why when Travis Hunter proudly announced that he was not going to make his wife sign a prenup, fans immediately saw trouble on the horizon. In his mind, it was a gesture of pure love. He believed in loyalty, in commitment, and in showing that trust mattered more than paperwork. For Travis, this was not just a marriage. It was a bond he thought would last forever. But for those who had been following the story from the beginning, it felt like he was walking straight into a trap. The internet was full of comments at the time, telling him to be careful. Some even begged him to reconsider, reminding him of story after story where athletes lost huge parts of their fortunes in messy divorces. His mentor, Deion Sanders, had even warned him directly. In a video that resurfaced after the scandal, Sanders stressed that young athletes must protect their assets. He said that too many players think love will be enough, but when things fall apart, it is the prenup that saves them from losing everything they worked for. Sanders even joked about writing the prenup himself, making it so thick it could be a book. It was a moment meant to guide Travis, but unfortunately, he chose to go in the opposite direction. Now, that decision has become the centerpiece of the conversation. Fans are not only questioning his judgment in love, they are questioning his financial judgment. Without a prenup, Leanna could be entitled to a massive portion of his earnings if a divorce were ever filed. And we are not just talking about pocket change. Travis is an NFL player with years ahead of him, endorsement deals, and the potential to build generational wealth. The idea that half of that could be at risk has fans shaking their heads. The timing could not be worse. His career is on the rise. His name is becoming more valuable by the day. And instead of focusing on the game, the spotlight has shifted to his private life. Every rumor about cheating, every debate about her intentions circles back to money. Did she marry him for love, or was it always about securing the bag? That question has fueled endless discussions online, with many people firmly believing it was the latter. The critics argue that the writing was always on the wall. From her admitting he was not her type to the old videos that keep resurfacing, fans say it looks less like a love story and more like a strategy. The lack of a prenup only adds weight to that theory. They believe she knew exactly what she was doing, and that Travis made it all too easy by refusing to listen to the warnings. But beyond the online noise, there is a real possibility that this could turn into one of the most expensive lessons of his life. Divorce proceedings are not just emotional, they are financial battlefields. If the rumors ever become reality, Travis could face the painful reality of watching years of hard work and sacrifice split in half. The numbers alone are enough to keep the internet glued to the story. For now, there has been no confirmation of any divorce filings, yet the absence of paperwork has not slowed down the speculation. Fans see every cryptic post, every deleted picture, and every awkward moment as another sign that the marriage is hanging by a thread. And with no prenup to protect him, Travis has more to lose than anyone else involved. What once looked like a love story built on loyalty has now turned into a cautionary tale. A young star with the world at his feet may have made the biggest mistake of his career, not on the field, but off of it. And as the gossip keeps spreading, another rumor has started gaining attention, one that could take the scandal to an even darker level. As if the cheating rumors were not enough, the story took another twist when whispers of a pregnancy began spreading online. Fans started connecting dots from old posts, TikTok clips, and cryptic comments. Some claimed that Leanna might be expecting, while others went even further, suggesting the child might not belong to Travis. The theory was messy, unconfirmed, and full of speculation, but in the world of celebrity gossip, that was all it needed to explode. The idea of a pregnancy instantly changed the conversation. What had been a scandal about betrayal suddenly became a debate about paternity, family, and what kind of future Travis might be facing. If true, it would mean that Travis was not just dealing with heartbreak, but also the possibility of raising a child under the heaviest cloud of doubt. Fans latched on to the possibility, replaying videos where Leanna had been emotional and analyzing them frame by frame for supposed clues. At the same time, the word divorce started trending. Posts claiming Leanna had already taken steps to file began making the rounds. Nothing official appeared in public records, yet the rumor spread like fire. For many fans, it made sense. They pointed to the crying video she posted in December, where she said life was hard and quoted religious lines about suffering, making people stronger. To them, that was a preemptive move, setting the stage to gain sympathy before walking away. In this version of the story, the sequence was simple. Secure the marriage, build sympathy online, then file for a divorce without a prenup in place. Whether true or not, this theory became one of the loudest on social media. It tied together the old clips, the cryptic captions, and the endless speculation into one storyline that millions of people believed. Travis, meanwhile, stayed mostly silent. Aside from that one cryptic post where he wrote life really is not all it is cracked up to be, he has avoided making direct comments. To fans, that silence said more than words ever could. They believed he was hurting, that the rumors were hitting close to home, and that his silence was proof that something was seriously wrong behind the scenes. The gossip machine fed on that silence. Meme pages shared jokes about him losing half his fortune, while blogs speculated about custody battles that had not even begun. Comment sections filled with arguments between fans who believed Leanna had been planning this all along and those who argued that people were rushing to judgment without proof. What made it all even more complicated was the timeline. This marriage was barely a few months old. The honeymoon phase was supposed to still be in full swing. Yet here was the internet, already discussing betrayal, divorce, and pregnancy rumors. The speed at which the narrative turned upside down only fueled more suspicion. Fans wondered how a marriage could collapse so quickly unless the problems had been there all along. The pregnancy rumor carried the most emotional weight. If true, it could mean Travis was facing the toughest decision of his life. Would he stand by her and hope the child was his? Or would he walk away, risking the possibility of abandoning a child that might still be biologically his? The situation was heartbreaking even to imagine, and it gave the gossip a new layer of intensity. No matter what side of the debate people were on, one thing was clear. The marriage that started as a fairy tale was now being picked apart in real time, with every rumor treated like fact and every silence treated like confirmation. Fans were not just following the story, they were living in it, refreshing their feeds for the next clue. And yet, as wild as the speculation had become, the truth was still uncertain. No official divorce filing had been confirmed, no pregnancy had been verified. The only thing everyone could agree on was that Travis Hunter's private life was no longer private, and the internet was not about to let the story fade away quietly. So here we are. A story that started as a celebration of young love has unraveled into one of the most dramatic scandals in sports gossip this year. Travis Hunter, the rising NFL star, who once defended his wife against the critics, is now facing a tidal wave of rumors about betrayal, money, and even the possibility of a child that might not be his. From the wedding day clips that had fans whispering, to the old videos that resurfaced, to the alleged cheating with a teammate, the internet has pieced together a storyline that feels like a soap opera. Whether every detail is true or not almost does not matter anymore. The perception has become the reality, and once the internet decides on a narrative, it is nearly impossible to change. What makes this even more painful is how quickly it all unfolded. Just months after saying their vows, the couple that once looked like a picture-perfect match is now at the center of memes, speculation, and non-stop commentary. Travis is being painted as the young star who ignored all the warnings, while Leanna is being cast as the villain in a story that millions of people are following like it is a television series. But the truth is still unclear. No official divorce filing has surfaced. No pregnancy has been confirmed. All that exists right now are cryptic posts, resurfaced clips, and the never-ending fire of online gossip. In the middle of it all is Travis, silent but watched by millions who want to know what his next move will be. So what happens now? Does he stay and try to repair what has been broken? Does he walk away and risk losing not just love but half of his fortune? Does the rumor of a child make things even more complicated than they already are? These are the questions that everyone is waiting to see answered. One thing is certain, the world will be watching every step. Every post, every photo, every public appearance will be dissected for meaning. For Travis, the fairy tale is over. The story has changed, and now he has to decide how it ends. What do you think? Is there any way back from this, or has too much damage already been done? Should Travis fight to keep his marriage alive, or should he protect himself and walk away? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on stories like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next twist in this saga.